Hello everyone, this is my video for the areas and volumes worksheet. What we did in class last 2 days was simultaneous equations, and I've given you one example of those to do in the yellow box, and I'm going to do the top one now. Please type this out, there's only one question, and try and make it look really nice. Okay, so now I'm looking at my equation there, and I'm going to write this out perfectly without using any shortcuts to make it easier. I see the second equation and copy it down, and I make a third equation. Why did I choose that one? It's because I want to multiply it by 3, and then there's a 3x in the top one. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Oh, what a big potato. Wow, sorry guys, it's a y already. I could just use it on the y. Okay, so now I could subtract. See, I'm more potato than you sometimes. I'm going to subtract equation 2 from equation 1. So let's just do that now. Okay, so I've got 3x minus x, that's 2x. Y minus y is nothing. And then that's going to equal 10 minus 4, which is equal to 6. So 2x is 6, and that kind of tells me that 2 times something is 6, the something must be 3. Okay, and now I'm going to substitute x into, let's choose equation 2. Remember, you could choose the top one or the second one, it doesn't matter. So there it is. Now I know my x is 3, so I can put 3 instead of the x. 3 plus y equals 4, and that leads us to y equals 1. 3 plus something is 4, so y must be 1. Okay, I have my x and I have my y, so the last line is to check, and I substituted it into equation 2, so I'm going to check it in equation 1. So I'll find out if we are correct. Okay, now I know x is 3, so 3 times 3 is 9, and I know y is 1, so I get 9 plus 1 equals 10, and then I can write OK. Final line, x equals 3, y equals 1. I just make that highlighted for beauty reasons. That's not how to highlight. It's there. And yes, in equations that usually doesn't work, but sometimes it does. Okay, so you've only got one question like that to write out. And because you're doing it in a yellow box, you don't want to highlight it in yellow. Okay, so today's class is about areas. Because areas are measured in units, you can't just say the area is 5. Is it 5 meters squared, 5 centimeters squared, 5 miles squared if you're American? You have to say so. So I put a good video on units there. It's a really good one. I strongly suggest you watch that. It's actually fun as well. This part is empty because I want you to do that. Can you draw a picture of these shapes and then find on the internet what the equation for the area of the shapes are? There's only one shape, the ellipse, which you might not be able to remember how to do that. I'm going to do all the shapes in GeoGebra, and ellipse is that one there. So can you find a shape that looks like that in GeoGebra? Yours may be in Spanish. And put on 3 spots and it will draw the ellipse for you. Now remember, the ellipse is the shape that a planet takes when it goes around its star. So the star is at one of these 2 points, and the planet is going around the star. So I go to move. This is called very eccentric orbit because it's not circular. So it's more eccentric, and this is less eccentric. And as we move A and B closer together, it becomes a circle. So remember, a circle is a special case of an ellipse where the two foci are at the same place. So don't make it look like a circle, make it look like an ellipse. And then we want to make a good picture of that. So turn off the grid and kill all of the labels. Like so. Okay, screenshot, put it into the worksheet. The other ones I'm not going to tell you how to do, they're quite straightforward. Okay, now we've got volumes. So to do this, I'm going to put a link to TinkerCad, which I must admit I forgot to do. I really want you to get an account with these TinkerCad guys, because this is very, very good. All of the shapes that you need to draw here are actually in TinkerCad anyway. So let's just make sure that link works. It does seem to work. If it doesn't, just type in tinkercad.com for yourself. Oops. This is what I did last time. Okay, all of the shapes that you need are here in the basic shapes, but if you look down, you can see some characters and some other things that you can play around with later that other people have made. So back to basic shapes. And the one that I'm going to make is here anyway. It's the half sphere or hemisphere, but I wanted to make it myself. So get the sphere, perhaps make it a little bit bigger, not like that, choosing the wrong one. Nope, that doesn't make it what I want either. That'll work. Right, so now I've made my sphere a little bit bigger. Then I go to box and I put a box on there. Now obviously I've got to make my box bigger and then look at it from the top. I can do all of this with my mouse, and I want to put my box there. I want to make half a sphere. I have a whole sphere already, and I want to cut it in half, and this box will let me do that. But I've got to turn my box into a hole. And then I've got to move the box so that it's right in the middle of the sphere. That's why I needed the box to be bigger than the sphere. So now I hold the shift key down and I get both the box and the sphere. And when I go to this one, it will put those two shapes together. So it'll make a hole in the sphere, the shape of the box. Bing. So we've cut the sphere into two pieces. If you click here, we can choose the color that we want it to be. I think I'd like mine to be green. And then I get a good angle to take a photograph of it, a screenshot, and paste it in there. So not like that. It didn't accept my screenshot. Well, I did it twice. Right, try my screenshot again. Got it. And then you just have to, make that more beautiful. Right, in this final column here, you've got to work out you've got to research on the internet the equation for these volumes. Find the equations and write them in there. At the end of this, there's only 3 questions: cylinder, cone, and cube. I've given you the information you need to work out the volumes of those things. Now, some of these shapes, the cone and the cylinder, need pi. And here is a very good video about pi, and I strongly recommend that you watch that as well. And that's the end of it. Okay, so try and make these pictures as beautiful as possible, and this is entirely your work. So when you take this out in a year to revise from, hopefully you'll be able to remember it. You have written the first part of your own textbook, and I'll see you in class a little bit later.